Jake, your resident content cowboy here, Yeehaw, and my question for you is no Lucario the best team in the world at Pokemon Unite? We will find out very soon at the World Championships in London. Let's take a look at them here today. And to help me figure out if no Lucario is one of the best teams in the world, I have the incredible RTSAN here with me. Hi, RT, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really good, and I'm just really excited to be here and just sharing a little bit more about this region. I think it hasn't gotten that much attention, but that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you. You know, there are so many amazing teams from all over the world, and I don't think we get to see enough of them, especially from this region. I've seen some gameplay out of OC, not a ton out of APAC. So I want you to tell me a little bit about this region, maybe how it plays compared to some of the others.
Yeah, so I think for APAC, they do it a little bit differently from, I think, the North American and European kind of metas. They were one of the first few regions that started with the 1-1-3 meta, but they have now kind of moved back to the 2-1-2. I think this region is especially known for their very aggressive gameplay. So that also includes, very early rotations to certain objectives. And I think in that sense, the gameplay is a lot faster than what you would be kind of used to seeing in, let's say, the North American or the European regions.
So it's a lot of brawling all the time. I mean, these teams are just fighting constantly. Are there any picks that really stand out from this region that maybe some others are sort of sleeping on at all? Pokemon picks?
If you're talking about the regionals, I think they were one of the first few to actually embrace the Serena. I think in a lot of the other Western countries, they were still sticking to the Lucario, and I think they were, for APAC, they kind of saw the potentials of Serena being part of the team composition, and they managed to kind of bring that across in the top lane a lot in terms of the aggressiveness as well.
Yeah, Zarina is absolutely insane. I can't tell which is best right now, Machamp, Serena, Lucario. I think there are huge benefits to all of them in a lot of different compositions, but Serena is crazy right now, and I think it could be the Pokemon that kind of storms Worlds coming up here very soon. We're going to watch a game here in a second from No Lucario. It's No Lucario versus Renaissance in the finals, the final game of the APAC finals. What do you think we should be looking out for here from No Lucario?
What we should look out for is, in this game that we're going to watch, they kind of were losing the early parts of the games. But I think it's about them, knowing the timing of when their team composition and the levels are ready for them to actually engage in team fights or go for different objectives, and being able to predict what Renaissance actually is going to go for, and making other plays to kind of make sure that in the end game of things, they have the advantage. They have the ability to kind of control the last 2 minutes of the game.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to check it out. Let's take a look at the regional finals that sent No Lucario to the World Championships. All right, Renaissance versus No Lucario. This is a game 5 in the grand finals. I don't believe this had a reset, right? No Lucario is going to win this thing in their first series.
Yep, so this is the final match that we're actually watching between Renaissance and No Lucario. There is no reset, and they do manage to win this in the end.
All right, cool. Here we go. We got Wraith on that Bulbasaur. I've been watching a bit of this actually as I'm preparing for Worlds, and I feel like Wraith is brutal on that Venusaur.
Yeah, I think this is one of his key Pokemon. Even before, the official World Circuit, he was already playing Venusaur and playing it extremely well as well. And I think, we were talking about how aggressive both teams play, and we can definitely see this happening already in the first minute here. They kind of make use of the fact that Sylveon actually scales up very early and quickly, and they managed to get 3 knockouts already within the first minute, and continues to farm even more to kind of increase the lead from here.
That's one of my favorite plays. It's interesting seeing this Sylveon because I've seen obviously in EU they kind of created this Sylveon running top here, and then right here we're seeing No Lucario take part of the center area and have that Sylveon run bottom. And man, it is just so brutal early. This Pokemon is so mean.
Yeah, I definitely think this particular pick is extremely good against the team composition from Renaissance because of, how long it takes for the Venusaur to come online. And so the main purpose of picking it is really to make sure that the Venusaur comes online only later than theirs. And it makes a lot of sense because they do send the Venusaur into the central area after the Sylveon reaches its level 4.
Yeah, that's right. They got Wraith heading into that central area there. I hope I'm saying Wraith correctly. We got Ice on the Blissey. We've got Dev here on that Sylveon. Dev is just such a mean Sylveon here. Now we have both teams running that Serena. Like you said, they're both playing a top lane Serena here.
Yeah, I think Serena is definitely going to be a Pokemon that we see a lot at Worlds. In terms of the laning phase, it doesn't do that well, so that also explains why APAC has decided to go back to the 2-1-2. But once it becomes a Serena at level 6, that's really when a lot of the engages onto team fights, and a lot of plays can happen from there.
Yeah, it is really interesting, right? It's a pretty weak Pokemon, especially if you're comparing it to Lucario or Machamp very, very early. But as soon as it hits 6, it's completely different. Everything about Serena changes here. Nice little move there from the Talon. Looks like they might catch the Blissey, and they do. Getting ready for Dread here.
My mic went off a little bit just now, so I can hear it back now. But yeah, so yeah. Okay, maybe you could do this part again later if you need to.
Oh, it's okay. I think we'll be all right. We got a little fight here at Dread. Let's see. Talon up in the air. Wow, I'm surprised there's so much damage going down on it with Talon in the sky, but it looks like Renaissance able to secure that one. Unfortunately, Wraith not able. It's living. No, it goes down. It finally goes down.
Yeah, so I think with the first Dreadnought taken by Renaissance, Lucario is already playing from behind. They don't have the levels that they need for them to start engaging in team fights, so they just try their best to kind of make sure that they don't bring down the tier 1 gold zone so fast, because both teams are running the Hoopa, and they need it to allow them to rotate faster to different objectives and also do all these cross-map plays.
Yeah, so no Lucario right here. You're thinking they're not really wanting to engage in that first Dreadnought fight that much. That's kind of why they let them take it, basically.
Yeah, and I think Renaissance at this point also recognizes that they do have the level, so they are playing very aggressively, but at the same time, overconfidence and overextension will cost them a little bit over here, and Lucario will be able to gain back some of the levels that they need. So these are just one of those examples of Lucario, responding back against the aggressiveness of Renaissance and being able to make the best of their decisions.
Yeah, it is really interesting, right? You can get a big advantage on, taking a Dreadnought and winning a fight, but if you quickly give a couple of KOs up, it's almost like you didn't get anything at all, especially against a good team that knows how to capitalize on that moment. If you have a high-level enemy on the enemy team and you can target it, that's huge for you.
Yep, and I think another thing about what they're doing is that if we notice both team compositions, they don't actually have a Dragonite or a Duraludon to actually help them with the objective secure. So both teams, they are really very focused on making sure that they win the team fight first before they go for all of these objectives.
Do they have a lot of objective flipping in APAC? Is that pretty big, or is it more fight focused like this? Like I guess I'm wondering, have they ever gone up against a team that's really, really solid at sort of that Dragonite with maybe Pup Lucario and things like that?
Well, so I think with this, very team fight focused team composition, the idea is that, you can already predict what a flip comp would kind of do. So you would prepare for that earlier. So be in the depth pit earlier, get to a better positioning, force a team fight out of them, and win it from there, because your whole team composition is about taking fights, and that's the advantage that they have. And even now, what we're looking at is Lucario, even though they are kind of behind in terms of the objective, they didn't get the first Rotom, neither did they get the Dreadnought, but what they're doing is they're trying to increase the point lead, and this will help them a lot later when we go into the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, the point lead's very, very important, especially when you're up by over 100 points. You put your opponent in a position where they have to kind of make the move, and that's a very advantageous position to be in. Just getting some more points on the board, maybe stacking up, but I bet that Serena's all fully stacked at this point. Talonflame coming down with another nice little KO there. Good fight here. Serena's still scoring at this bottom path, and right now it looks like Renaissance might be able to put some points in, get this thing closer to even. Let's see what they're able to do here in this top path. Yeah, 205, 246 right now, so nice push there by Renaissance.
Yep, I think Renaissance, with all of the objectives that they've gotten, they know that they can fight, and Lucario, they don't want to be taking these fights because they know with the level advantage that they have on the other side, they're going to lose these team fights, so they find opportunities like this to get the stacks onto the Serena, because it is a very late game scaling Pokemon, and we will see how this actually changes the Zapdos fight later at the 2 minutes mark.
sending Rotom down. They maybe could have held that for a second, but it's just so far away from Zap that it feels like, yeah, just send it. Get ready for this Dreadnought here. Not a very important Dreadnought, but something to sort of be ready for. And we can see the Zarina there from No Lucario was in the central area of Renaissance for a bit, maybe looking for another score. Yeah, if you can't get your stacks early, you got to find time to grab them, right? It's such a huge advantage to have that.
Yep, and I think they did already manage to get some of them early in the laning phase, and this kind of just helps it do a little bit better into the late game. And of course, they aren't even trying to contest this Dreadnought, right? They are trying to look for opportunity to get in some scores in, make sure that, you know, that they have the key levels that they need to face them in the team fight later. They do want the Serena to be level 13. I mean, Sylveon's already level 12, but of course, any additional levels to that would be extremely helpful in the team fight, especially with, you know, the Venusaur on the side of Renaissance.
I love that play by No Lucario there, just completely ignoring Dreadnought and, you know, splitting off to score. Ooh, it looks like Sylveon going down a little bit early here. Here comes our big fight. Venusaur pushing in. We've got the Unite moves. Let's see. We're coming back in from that portal. Ooh, not looking good for Renaissance here. So they're pushing in further and further. Oh, gosh, that Serena gets so low. 3 down for both teams. Wow. This is so incredibly close. Only Blissey is left, and it's being chased by a Venusaur right here. Oh boy, can it get home? I don't know if it can make it home, but they're spending a lot of time fighting a Blissey, right? This is going to be a re-engage.
Yeah, for sure, because I think, like we've said, both teams that are running, they are running a very team fight composition, so they can't really burst it down in time.
Yeah.
But of course, now with the 5 Pokemon that are on the side of No Lucario, they are kind of going for it already, since they do have the advantage in terms of the numbers here.
Wow, this is a scary moment. I mean, this is just that was a full, like, who could get it in that last second? I don't know if it was the Giga Drain, if it was a boosted, if it was the Pedal Dance that actually secured that, but there you go. No Lucarius. Ooh, what a move. Getting that KO and getting the points there. Nice move by Dev. That's Sylveon. Big win there. That was, yeah, the flip there from both teams. That was scary. That would scare me if I was on both those teams. I'd be thinking, right. Wow, this is scary. But, you know, the other thing to think about when you think about a move like that from No Lucario, it has the ability to shut this tournament down right now, and Renaissance does not. So even if Renaissance wins here, they can go to another series. So No Lucario really is able to make a play like that and say, look, I think we got a 60-70% chance to win this thing right now. Let's go for it, right?
Yeah, and I think, you know, in a competition setting, even that kind of decision making, it's so important, right? You have to constantly you're under so much pressure to, you know, do well and perform, and you just need to make sure that you make good decisions, because the other team, they are going to be there and they're going to be able to punish you if you make the wrong decision. So No Lucario right over there making that decision, I think was just really good for them.
Yeah, that was a great game. I mean, it got really close. I thought Renaissance played a great game as well, but No Lucario pulling out that win, punching their ticket there to the World Championships, and they could be the best team in Pokemon Unite. RT, I want to thank you so much for being here with me and talking through not only this match, but a lot of what's going on over there in OCE and APAC.
Well, no problem. I definitely want to just, you know, bring our attention to these 2 regions where there isn't that much, I think, broadcast over there, but at the same time, there's just so much talent in this region, and we just want to give them like a fair chance to kind of just show off, you know.
Awesome. Will No Lucario win Worlds? We are going to find out very soon. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you very much, and I will see you all next time. Mwah.